I've decided to start a new life without you." The words hung in the air of the upscale restaurant. We had gathered to celebrate my daughter's college graduation. Gregory, my husband of 28 years, stood with his champagne glass. His announcement displaced the toast he was supposed to make. The toast was meant to honor Amelia's achievements. The clinking of silverware ceased instantly. Conversations halted mid-sentence. 50 pairs of eyes darted between Gregory and me. Everyone was waiting for my reaction. They expected tears, they expected shouting. They expected a dramatic exit. Instead, I smiled. "Congratulations on your honesty. My name is Bianca Caldwell. I am 54 years old. Until this moment, I had been the perfect wife and mother. I put my career aspirations on hold. I supported Gregory through 3 business ventures. I supported him through 2 career changes. I supported him through countless phases of finding himself. I raised our brilliant daughter, Amelia. She sat beside me now. Her graduation cap was still perched on her head. Her expression was frozen in horror. From the corner of my eye, I saw Cassandra Wells. Gregory's much younger girlfriend shifted uncomfortably. She sat at the back table. That table had people I considered friends for decades. Friends who apparently knew about the affair. Friends who never thought to tell me. Cassandra had attended our Christmas parties. She once called me for career advice. With practiced calm, I reached into my handbag. I pulled out a sealed cream-colored envelope. I placed it gently beside Gregory's plate. "What's this?" he asked. His triumphant expression faltered. "Something for you to read later," I replied. My voice stayed steady. I turned to Amelia. Her face had gone pale. I kissed her cheek. "I am so proud of you, sweetheart. This day is still about your accomplishment." Then I stood. I smoothed my dress. I addressed our stunned guests. "Please enjoy your meal. I wish you all a lovely afternoon." With that, I walked out of the restaurant. My head was held high. 50 pairs of eyes followed me. The heavy door swung shut behind me. It cut off the anxious murmurs inside. Outside, the Augusta summer heat hit me like a wall. I welcomed it. For the first time in years, I could breathe freely. Behind me, the restaurant door opened and slammed shut. Gregory's voice followed. It was no longer confident. It was high-pitched and frantic. "Bianca, what the hell is this? What have you done?" I kept walking. I allowed myself a small smile. The envelope contained the beginning of my revenge. I had been planning it for months. I was always the practical one in our marriage. Gregory dreamed big. He took risks. I maintained stability for our family. I saved for Amelia's education. Gregory invested unwisely in a friend's restaurant. I worked extra hours as a finance manager. He quit his stable job for handcrafted furniture. That passion lasted only 6 months. He grew bored quickly. My own dreams stayed on hold. I wanted to open a financial consultancy for women. I told myself, after Amelia graduates, after Gregory finds stability. 3 months ago, I noticed discrepancies. Small transfers to an unknown account. I had managed our finances for 20 years. These irregularities were red flags. I could have confronted Gregory immediately. Something held me back. Perhaps it was intuition. Perhaps it was the growing distance between us. Instead, I began investigating quietly. What I discovered was worse than I imagined. Gregory had been moving funds systematically. He had done it for over a year. He was taking Cassandra to expensive restaurants. He was purchasing jewelry. He was looking at beachfront property. All the while, he told me to tighten our belts. He said it was for retirement. Gregory stood suddenly, agitated. "I need to make some calls." "Of course," I said. "Your attorney might be a good start. I'll be staying at Diana's tonight." "Diana's?" he sputtered. "My sister's house." I nodded calmly. "She's quite upset with you, actually. She was the one who first spotted you with Cassandra. It was last Christmas when she saw you together. She didn't tell me immediately. She confronted you first. You promised her it was nothing. You swore you would end it. When she realized you hadn't, she came to me. This was another blow he hadn't anticipated. Diana and I had always been close. Gregory never imagined his own sister would choose my side. Everyone's betraying me, he muttered. Ironic, isn't it? I replied. I gathered my purse calmly. I picked up a small overnight bag I had packed earlier. You have until tomorrow evening to remove your things. After that, the locks will be changed. I headed toward the door. Gregory called after me. His voice was desperate now. What about Amelia? Have you thought about how this affects her? I paused and turned. Anger finally broke through my calm facade. Don't you dare use our daughter as a shield. Don't you dare use a shield. Don't you dare use our daughter as a shield. Gregory, you weren't thinking about her with Cassandra. His phone buzzed again. This time he looked at it and groaned. Problem? I asked. Cassandra's at the apartment already. She's moved her things in. I couldn't help but smile. The apartment you put in both your names? The lease you signed last month? Gregory nodded, looking confused. You might want to check with the leasing office. That application was flagged for credit issues. It was never completed. The agent called our home phone. I handled it myself. I walked out the door confidently. Gregory was left to face consequences. His perfectly planned new life was unraveling fast. Diana lived in a charming bungalow across town. It was close to the university where she taught literature. When I arrived, she greeted me with a fierce hug. I just heard from Amelia, she said. Are you okay? I'm better than I expected, I admitted. We walked to the kitchen. A bottle of wine was already open. Diana poured 2 glasses. I never thought Gregory would make such a spectacle. In front of everyone at the restaurant. He's lost his mind. It was meant to humiliate me, I explained. A public rejection, so I couldn't fight back. Diana's face darkened. My brother always had a flair for drama. But this is beyond anything I expected. We settled in her sunroom. It was surrounded by potted plants and bookshelves. Diana had never married. She preferred her independence and academic pursuits. Over the years, I had envied her freedom. What did you put in that envelope? She asked. I explained the contents. The divorce filing. The evidence of Gregory's financial deception. Most importantly, the prenuptial agreement. It would leave him with far less than planned. The prenup? Diana said, amused. I remember when he insisted on it. Father had just given him money for his first business. He was so worried about protecting it. She laughed bitterly. The irony is delicious. My phone rang suddenly. It was Amelia. I took a deep breath before answering. Mom, she said, her voice strained. I'm coming over to Aunt Diana's. Honey, you don't have to. I'm already on my way, she interrupted. Dad is telling everyone you've lost your mind. He says you planned this for months. He's saying horrible things. Of course he was. Gregory always rewrote narratives. He always cast himself as the victim. Let him talk, I said calmly. The truth will become clear soon enough. The preliminary hearing took place on a rainy Tuesday morning. I arrived with my attorney Philip. Gregory arrived with a lawyer he had hastily retained. The lawyer was a young associate. He came from a corporate law firm. It was not a family law firm. Gregory's poor choice showed his rushed planning. The judge was an older woman. She had sharp eyes. She had no patience for dramatics. She reviewed the prenuptial agreement carefully. This document appears in order, she said. She looked over her reading glasses. She asked Gregory's attorney, Do you contest its validity? The young lawyer cleared his throat. Your Honor, we believe the agreement has expired. He said too much time had passed. The judge read Section 18 aloud. The duration is for the term of the marriage. It also includes any legal proceedings resulting from dissolution. There is no expiration date indicated. Gregory leaned forward urgently. He whispered to his lawyer. The lawyer looked increasingly uncomfortable. The judge continued firmly. Evidence of fund transfers violates disclosure requirements. She referred to Section 23. She shuffled through the papers. She looked up with authority. I will maintain the freeze on joint accounts. Mr. Caldwell's personal account remains accessible. The family home stays with Mrs. Caldwell. This is based on the infidelity clause. Gregory's face flushed dark red. This is outrageous, he muttered. The judge fixed him with a stern look. Mr. Caldwell, review the agreement more carefully. This court reconvenes in 30 days. Discovery must be complete by then. As we left the courtroom, Gregory caught up to me. Bianca, please, he said. We need to talk reasonably. 28 years together has to count for something. It counted for everything, I replied. Until you decided it didn't. I walked away steadily. He stood alone in the corridor. The weight of his choices sank in. Word spread quickly in our social circle. Friends called daily. Some offered support. Others sought gossip. I maintained dignified silence. Gregory and I are separating, I told them. These things happen. Meanwhile, Gregory's facade was crumbling. He had built an image of a successful businessman. He had built an image of a devoted family man. That image was tarnished beyond repair. The financial freeze hurt him deeply. He couldn't follow through on promises to Cassandra. Their beachfront property deal collapsed. The luxury car deposit was canceled. 2 weeks later, Diana called me. Her voice carried amusement. Have you heard the latest? She asked. Cassandra moved out. Already? I asked. I wasn't surprised. The speed impressed me though. Cassandra discovered Gregory's business wasn't thriving. His savings were an illusion. She told her friend Jennifer about it. She said she didn't sign up for financial problems. I couldn't help but laugh. Gregory had always created illusions. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding. My financial security had always been solid. I had maintained accounts separate from Gregory's. That gave me unexpected freedom. I rented a small office downtown. I began setting up my consultancy. It was the dream I had postponed for years. My first clients were 2 divorcing women. Word of mouth spread quickly. More clients came. I specialized in women's financial transitions. Divorce, widowhood, career changes. The work felt fulfilling. It was better than corporate life. Amelia called me regularly from Charleston. She had accepted a marketing job there. I'm so proud of you, Mom, she told me. I described my growing client list. You're helping women in their worst moments. I'm doing what I wish someone had done for me. I prepare women for what might come. Being needed for expertise was empowering. It was different from being needed as caregiver. It gave me a new sense of identity. The final divorce hearing arrived. It was our 29th anniversary. A chapter of nearly 3 decades was closing. Gregory arrived looking haggard. His business was struggling without my support. Cassandra was long gone. She was already dating a real estate developer from Savannah. Most of our mutual friends had distanced themselves. They learned the truth of his deception. The judge upheld the prenuptial agreement. It stood in its entirety. Gregory left with only his personal possessions. He left with a struggling business and only the money in his private account. After paying his attorney, there was barely enough for a small apartment. I retained our family home. I kept my retirement accounts and I secured 70% of joint investments. 6 months later, my consultancy was thriving. Caldwell Financial Transitions had grown. I moved to a larger office space. I hired 2 associates. We specialized in financial futures for women. My daughter, Amelia, visited often. She was proud of me. You know what's ironic? She said. If Dad had been honest, he might have kept half. I nodded. Sometimes people can't see past the moment.